Sometimes all it takes is a hint of peace to get Wall Street breathing again. Hey everyone, it's Tuesday morning, June 17th, and welcome back to Capital Markets Quickie. I'm your host, Endrit Sella, here to break down yesterday's market action in just 2 minutes. Quick note before we begin, today's episode is brought to you by AMF Capital. For smart investment solutions and high-quality funds, head over to amf-capital.de. If you enjoy the podcast, please rate it wherever you're listening. It really helps me reach more people. So, after Friday's dramatic sell-off, U.S. stocks bounced back on Monday. The Dow climbed more than 300 points. That's about 0.7%. The Standard & Poor's 500 rose 0.9%, and the Nasdaq led the way, jumping 1.5%. The rebound came as geopolitical nerves began to ease. Reports surfaced that Iran might be open to restarting nuclear talks with the West, aiming to de-escalate tensions with Israel. That little bit of optimism helped push stocks to their session highs. When asked about it, Trump said something like, "Yeah, they want to talk, but they should have done that earlier." Now remember, Friday's sell-off was nasty. The Dow dropped over 700 points as investors ran from risk. But now, with signs that this whole Israel-Iran thing might not spiral out of control, traders are tiptoeing back into risk-on mode. Trump even said there's a good chance for peace, though he added that, quote, "Sometimes they have to fight it out." Oil also cooled off. After spiking last week, prices fell. Brent dipped just under $73 a barrel and WTI settled below 72. That's a big sigh of relief for anyone watching global energy supplies. Meanwhile, the 10-year Treasury yield crept up to 4.42%. Gold pulled back a bit from recent highs, and Bitcoin bounced back to trade above 108,000 per token. Over in Tradeland, U.S. talks with Canada and the EU are now front and center as Trump attends the G7 in Canada. The big date to watch? July 9th. That's when Trump's 90-day tariff pause ends, and folks are waiting to see if he goes full Liberation Day on trade. Looking ahead, markets are pretty much locked in on the Fed's decision coming up Wednesday. Most expect rates to stay where they are, even though Trump is still out here pressuring Powell to cut. But with markets stabilizing, there may not be much of a reason to move. That's it for today's Capital Markets Quickie. I'll be back tomorrow with a brand new episode. Make sure to subscribe, rate the podcast, and share it with your network. It really helps me reach more listeners. Thanks for tuning in.